Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy. I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Bulldogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
Well, Calvin, I hope you've had a good night's sleep, mate, because
tell
you're
you
going to
what,
be here
We're in
for the long
big
haul.
one.
How long's this going to go
It
for?
could go for a little while.
How long is a piece of string, Calvin?
Well, twice from the middle from its end. Did you know that? Anyway, let's get to it. Because I'll tell you what. So if you go to the middle of the string and you double it, you'll get to the other end. Anyway, straight over dog's head. This is going to be an intense 9 games.
Look, it is so important.
It is.
Because when you're looking at preseason games, and this is the closest thing we are going to get to a preview of round one.
Yeah.
However, it's not gospel stuff.
Yeah.
It's not stuff that is necessarily going to go ahead round one. So you have to pick and choose what you think was real, what wasn't. Remember, we have to flag at the start what Dane Swan said.
What's he said? What did he say?
What did he say? He said he could see quite well.
Okay.
And apart from that, he basically said you are a loser if you try in the AAMI series. But
some have to try.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Because they're trying to get I think they're the people he was talking about.
Yeah.
The ones that are trying to get a game, they're working their backside off.
Or
the good ones, this is the problem I have.
Yeah.
Right.
The good ones, they score anyway, not trying. There's that kind of good one.
Right.
And then there's good ones that almost take it off to the next level and don't score. Like the real trying not to be a loser.
Yeah.
Like Usain Bolt in a heat. Just really put the brake on as rude as you possibly can.
Yep, agree.
So this is all the things we have to try to break down. It's not a hard job. That's why we've got it.
That's exactly right.
It is a hard job, I mean. That's
well,
why
let's see what we can get into. 9 games across, Thursday to Monday night. It's a fair bit to take in.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
I'm looking forward to it as well. Let's get this party started. First game, Roy, was your Blues. They're going to win against the reigning premiers.
And here you go with grain of salt.
Yes, grain of salt. So, Carlton, Melbourne, Docklands, and that was on Thursday night.
Yep. You know that bit of string, mate? Times it by 2. Add that to the equation. This is going to be a long show.
Right, I'll tell you this.
Let's start with...
Okay.
Oh, God.
If Carlton can win 2 pre-season games...
Interrupt. Yes.
Right? That just shows what a grain of salt you take it with. Now, I also want to flag into this game...
They'll be top 6 this year.
That Melbourne are one of the easiest teams for midfielders to score against.
Okay.
Right. All yours, Roy.
Yeah, great flagging.
Great yours.
I should have jumped in at the start when I was flagging things.
That's all right. Go.
All right.
All right, let's go.
A thing you want to see from the preseason is someone who's been previously injured and probably scored well below what you would expect from them to be moving freely and in a good role.
Yep.
Patrick Cripps.
Yes.
Okay. Moving freely. None of that resting forward rubbish because realistically, even though he is a huge... he's a midfielder that's the size of a key forward.
Yeah.
But when he goes forward, it's rarely with that much success when he's playing. He's better running forward from the midfield.
Yes.
So we saw Cripper in the guts, and Voss did not muck around with the rotations in the guts. It was basically 4 of them, unless one of those guys couldn't get there.
And Cripper had the most of all Carlton players.
Yeah. And Sam Walsh is obviously out. Need to mention that. So the weight of the world is back on Cripper's shoulders, but his shoulders aren't injured at the moment.
No.
So he was amazing.
He's lean and he can hold them.
Yes, 100%. Now, one thing that I noticed with him, and I was worried about it, because last year, you know how he'd try to fend off and he kept getting pinged for holding the ball, and then he'd try to run around on the mark, try to fend off, pinged holding the ball. Well, they're super strict on that this year, so I thought this will be interesting, because is he going to be able to get that off without getting pinged? And yes, dog, he could. Now, he had 30 touches, 8 tackles. Remember last year...
That's the key thing,
Remember last year, his price was really low, and then we said, out of nowhere, he had that 8 or 10 tackles. Then he backed it up the next week.
Yep.
Only a 2-week stretch where he did that, and then he was just back to not playing that great. But if you're looking at his stat line, 30 touches... 8 tackles, that 4 goals. He's not going to do that every week, but we take them off and it's still a 110-plus game.
Okay, priced at 82.
686.
Pick up sticks. Would you do it? Dog.
Yes.
He's a name.
Yeah.
and he looked unbelievable, and he's done that 110 basically before.
Yep. I'm a yes.
Okay. What do you think he can be?
100 at the minimum. We talked earlier today. We thought,
Mate,
95 minimum.
we first chatted today 11 hours ago.
Yeah, I know.
Right? It's been a long day.
It's a long day.
Okay.
It's a long piece of string.
It is. Massive string.
So Cripper, he has to be on your radar if he wasn't already. And sometimes you can find yourself scrambling once we find out what rookies are available.
Yeah.
And you have to find 100,000 from somewhere.
Yeah.
If that's chopping someone down to Cripper,
He's an option for that.
he has to be an option for that. Now, Matthew Kennedy, we saw last year he was unbelievable when he was in the midfield.
Pass.
And sort of like Cripper, when he was in the forward line, not much chop. Well, he was one of the 4 guys in that midfield rotation. 135 he had.
Have you got him in a keeper league or something?
I do.
Yeah, he had 17 CBAs, but yeah.
He had 37 touches.
Yes, it was enormous.
9 marks.
All right.
We can't talk about irrelevant dudes.
Sorry, but
Stick with it.
why did you kick me off? with
Relevant. Relevant is we're going to go with
George Hewitt.
Very draft right.
Let's talk Hewitt.
Hewitt he had 24 CBAs. That was behind Cripps, so he's basically the second midfielder in there.
Okay.
He's a full-time midfielder. Agree.
He scored 87.
Right, and
He
few
had-
people turn their nose up at that a little bit.
He had 33 touches.
Yeah.
33 touches. Now, this guy is renowned for his tackling.
Yes.
He had 2. He didn't care about tackling. When the game's on the line in a couple of weeks' time, he will be laying tackles. He didn't even take a mark.
Nah.
If
So-
he's getting 33 touches, that's a ton.
I had messages coming my way saying, aren't you concerned that he had all those possessions and only scored that? No. Not at all. And plus you add 3 more tackles to that, plus 1 or 2 marks. Mate, he's the easiest pick of the year.
And you can get him in defence.
You can get him in defence for that price. Lock. Who else is relevant then, Doug?
Relevant then, we're probably looking down the bottom end of the team, and that would be Jordan Boyd, who must be a chance for around 1 gig.
Yeah.
190k defender.
Yep.
So he only scored 45, but played 80% time on ground. That's
Yeah.
probably one of the key things that we look at here. If you're playing a fair chunk of the game,
Yeah.
it's got to be there. The flag on him, though, is probably Doherty, who had 38 touches in that VFL game on that same day. So, that's there.
Look, Durden was looking okay, but he obviously hurt himself. Now, someone you've skipped past, and this is not just Carlton bias.
Right. Here we go.
But he deserves a mention. Adam Chera has been the most disrespected guy this preseason. Mark my words, this is going to be a big, big year for him. And this is not me in Zach Williams mode, blah, 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 blah. Those days are long gone. Chera is a viable pick. He is so underpriced.
So Chera's priced at 87.
Yeah.
Can he get 100?
He'll go over 105.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many Carlton players do you have going over 100 this year?
Oh,
a record.
So Walsh, Chera, Cripps.
Okay.
Huey will be 95 or so.
All right, let's talk about some demons then. Max Gawn.
Okay.
He's had 124 points, one of the best for the weekend.
Yep.
The whole set and forget rucks is in vogue for a few reasons, but he is still going to be as good as what he ever is.
He took 9 marks. This is what he's going to do to get his score from that 120, 130 range.
Do you know what? Max isn't going to go off the ground very much either.
No.
They're not going to burn the rotations with Max. He's so fit. He gets up both ends of the ground, hence the 9 marks. He's an avenue to goal. We just have to start with him.
We do. Now, Petrarca had 96. Oliver had 83.
Yeah.
Is that a concern if you were looking at those guys as premium starters for you?
Nah,
We don't look at premiums.
You'd probably enjoy that neither of them cracked a ton and hope a few people drop off.
Yep.
Because those two are elite, and there's going to be a bit of Globetrotters going on this year, and they'll be in the thick of it.
Won't they ever?
We look at the Demons as probably not a lot of value across the board there. A couple of names, a couple of times I've seen Jake Bowie pop up on people's radars. So he had 61, 22 touches, so that's a nice number there, but that's pretty much all it was. So he had 2 marks with that as well. So it'd be a risk.
371.
Yeah, it's too much for
There's
a
just
risk.
people in that in that range.
Oh, it's
that people
desperate
are looking
times,
at.
desperate measures here, dog. But that's just stupidity, right?
Is it?
Come on.
Yes.
No one else from these guys?
No, flip it.
All All right, our next game was Western Bulldogs and the Brisbane Lions. Friday night footy at Docklands, and that was a good game.
We talked about guys like Patrick and Oliver not lighting it up to sort of go, here I am, hey, remember me? McRae, he doesn't do that. He doesn't. 143.
So he's one of the guys I was talking about that just can't help but be good.
No.
Yeah. Like he's just got one gear and he's in it all the time. 10 tackles surprised me.
A date, yeah.
10 pre-season tackles.
That's not a... Hey, he's in the leadership group now.
Amazing anyway. 143. It was just a big reminder to us that he's just probably the safest pick going around, to be honest.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
We'll talk more about that later.
Right, Adam Treloar was the next highest scorer for the Dogs with 108, but flag. He went in for scans on his shoulder, which is... he's just had lots of issues over his career recently anyway, but that's a massive flag.
Mate, he loves the lollipops they give out after he has a scan.
Yeah.
He gets scanned more than anyone in the world.
Yeah, so he was in my side.
It's a no, though, surely.
But that's a no. Like, there's no problems with him and what his fantasy footy will be doing.
No.
But it's just the concerns of if he's going in with a little niggle, that could become something
His rolling stuff was great. I had to admit, though, the old trust the eye, there was times there where he was doing his thing where he, it's like he wants to get faked out to avoid a tackle or something.
Yeah, that's his move.
It's just like he chased not having to lay a tackle.
I can see it in my head now.
Can you? Yeah, exactly. I didn't really know how to describe it. But so you got McRae there launching into 10.
Oh, jeez.
You got Treloar waiting to get faked out to avoid it for his 2.
Yep.
And then he's getting a scan on his shoulder. He's not going to want to tackle, is he?
No. So, Bont 107, he does spend a bit of time forward as well.
He does.
But
just if you like Bont, you just do it.
You could do it. That's fine.
Good.
Yep. So he was further down the list of the CBAs for them. Dunkley was in there. He had the most for all the Bulldogs.
That's very pleasing.
Like
very pleasing.
Yeah, F1.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is with the CBA watch is that Libba was out.
No Libba.
Yep. Yeah. So who did Zach give the biggest boost to? I felt like Treloar, who was at, did he attend?
So Treloar was at 17.
17.
Which is big.
It is big, and that's really impressive. I feel like he's the one that takes the biggest hit out of the big boys that ate up a few of those CBAs.
You would think so. I reckon Dunkley's got a few more tackles than him in that as well. He only had 3 from his 32 touches.
32.
Yeah.
That was big.
Interesting CBA stuff is that Tim English, he had 19 and he scored a ton. So a 106. We sort of thought he might have been better last year than what he was, but he was their main man in the ruck, really. So Steph had 14 hit-outs. English had 12, but with the CBAs, he was a long way ahead of Stefan.
Because the thing is, speaking of a couple of years ago, he was tracking towards Uber Premium.
Yeah.
He had a really underrated year. I think he averaged near 90 or something.
Yep.
Didn't he? What year was that? Probably Corona Ball.
Probably was.
Year was it? But still, he racked up enough to be like in that bracket. Very impressive. Is he back? Because he's underpriced.
And is he an option?
I
Because
know,
he's got
that's
ruck
the thing.
forward status.
Priced at 80. He's going to be better than 80.
He goes 90 plus.
Yeah, he does. You couldn't start him in the ruck, though.
Is he safer than some of those other rucks that people are considering as R2?
Look, it's not going to happen, but if he was named and Steph wasn't, you could launch at that.
You could. You could have a look at it.
That's 95 average.
Anyone else on the Bulldogs we need to discuss there?
Not really.
I don't think there is.
I think Caleb Daniel, Bailey Dale, they're going to be very good defenders.
They'll just do their thing.
Draft-wise, looking at where they are. I think, Bailey Dale, he ended up with... Let me look at the kick-ins. They had 5 each, actually, Dale and Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kick-ins for that. So all right, Lions, Lachie Neale, 106. Lock him in.
Currently in for me.
Yeah, he's made his way. Remember, I've been a little bit negative this pre-season, but
I understand
it's
why.
the time of the year where you just need to bite the bullet. You're not a stubborn old cow anymore.
No.
Move past it.
Yeah.
He will always have the most CBAs for the
That's
Lions.
the thing. There was all that talk pre-season about
Forward,
him forward, Zorko back. That's not. None of that is going to happen.
No.
So, Lachie Neale is just back in the midfield where we can expect that 105 to 110 sort of average, I think.
Jared Berry was an interesting
Yeah.
one. He had 86. He had 120 odd in the first Blackie game. Now,
It's all about draft.
It is draft.
Because, Cal.
He sits as, you ready for this, the 123rd ranked midfielder based on his last year's average.
Right.
You need to fix that up.
You do.
Bump
Because
him up.
His average in 2020 was a lot higher because he cops a discount. This has got a few people crabby lately.
It has.
Oh, God.
I found a bargain.
Yeah,
but he's not a
this.
bargain.
Oh,
he's actually still discounted on what he did the year before because it's a fair
It's a better way of doing it.
system of doing this.
They
Otherwise,
thought that they found a cheap person
Yeah.
and no one else would get him at that price.
I think in another game he's rookie price.
Yeah.
Yes, what a stupid game that is.
all right, Jared Lyons, only the 81. Is there
See?
some concern there, though?
There is.
Is there?
His
well-
CBAs will be down. What did he
Yep.
actually do?
So,
Because he
CBAs,
looked forward a
he had
lot.
8.
8, that's not
So
enough.
that could be real then.
Yeah,
that
that's
forward.
real. So that's got him straight out of the role on 22 for me.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing too, because he's so high in draft, which
Yeah.
ADP's bringing him down. He's come down a long way from where he was at the start.
Yeah.
And he was the third highest averaging
Yeah,
midfielder,
yeah,
wasn't
it was
he?
massive.
was.
So they want to get legs like Zach Bailey
Yep.
in there, and
Who
they're going to
is
chew
very
up his
good.
time. Yeah,
Now, Zach Bailey's numbers, 63, wasn't as good, but he is in there a lot. He had 16 CBAs, so he
Yep.
doubled the amount of CBAs. And
yes,
we
it's
saw
definitely
for
a worry.
Lions.
Put a line through lines.
The one I wanted to watch in this game was Coleman.
Yeah,
And
Kadeem
now-
Coleman.
Yeah, he did a hammy. So,
Yeah.
Disappointing.
34 from 30% time on ground, though. You know, he was tracking like
Yeah,
we
he
wanted
was,
him to
and-
in that half-back role.
yeah.
But
we-
hammy, done.
We wanted a guy like that at his price of $343,000 to be one of our options.
Yeah.
And he's another guy you just have to cross off.
We sneaking Sharpie in again this year, dog?
Oh, mate, he had 50. He was like in the mix of the latecomers.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be in that 22, I don't think. Damn it. Unfortunately. He was there on the list, though. Nakai Cockatoo was one that actually looked all right.
He did look
He's
all right.
looking a lot better, but I don't think... Hopefully there's better options
Yeah.
is how I'm
Too
sort of
much
thinking
risk
about
for
that.
his price.
That's 340 as a forward.
Which
Yeah.
is, there's a few around that. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
we might have to spend some coin at the moment in the forward line. Or in our teams that we don't traditionally do. Anyone else?
Nah.
Nope. Nah, that'll do. All right, next one was on Saturday, 1 o'clock at Devonport Oval. Destroy was right next door. Roy, a cow. Do you know what he was doing?
No, I don't know what he's doing.
Confidential, I think, actually.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, I think
can't
so.
say.
Oh, you'll find out soon.
Wait till,
Okay.
wait till I get paid before we say anything.
Modelling on the beach.
Modelling on the beach.
Yeah,
Bloody hot
surprising.
down there.
Was?
Let's
We
talk
look
about...
forward to seeing what that comes out
Right,
as.
let's
The
focus.
weather was pretty warm too.
Right. Hawthorn.
Sorry.
No Tom Mitchell in this game.
No.
What does this mean?
Means groin.
He's got a groin
complaint.
issue.
Yeah, rumour has it,
know-
complete groin relocation.
Location. Yeah, I can imagine he'd need it.
We might have to go to the source at some point too.
We're going
We
to
will.
need to.
Well,
You're not paying up for
This-
a guy with a groin.
no, you're not. Not touching it.
No. Not touching his groin. Definitely
So
not.
the thing
Although,
is,
if my team gets desperate, I'm happy
You
to go
help
and
out,
touch
Doc?
it.
Yeah.
look, here's the deal. If he is really, it was nothing,
Yeah, what are they going on about?
he just had a rest because he doesn't need preseason games.
No,
no.
He
He doesn't need a trip to Devonport.
No, 100%.
They would have been on one of those little aeroplanes with the
Yeah.
little propellers.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to do that.
No, he doesn't need to. So if his fate in my team depends on whatever he says. If he waves it off as nothing, in.
He's got to be positive, though.
You can hear it in their voice, though.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Like if there's any word, like if you can sense any, it'll come up all right, or I'm confident it will.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's how hard I am on the chop this year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because this was relevant because there was no O'Meara and there was no Tom Mitchell, but we did have Josh Ward.
So he was massive.
So he
in
had
that game.
91 from 29 touches and quite a lot of CBAs in that as well.
Well, CBA's cow.
Yep.
Let's tell you how many there were in that. So he had behind Newcomb 21, Warple 18, Ward had 17. So he's the third banana in that.
Now, he's got to get bumped out of that a little bit. But
Of course.
you'd think he plays round one. You think that he could be an option in our midfield on ground.
Look, he just looked ready-made, didn't he? That 91, that was from 67% time on ground. Now
they've rested him.
There's positives and negatives out of that. When I see those low tog guys, it's like are they looking after them because they want him next week, or do they see him as someone who's not actually going to
I've seen
get
Cow
good
at the
clock?
beach with low togs on.
Yep.
So have I.
I don't think Warple hasn't done enough this pre-season for us to go,
No.
that's an option.
No.
No, but he's still better than the 80 that he's at. Especially draft. He's the draft relevant guy.
Agree.
Right.
Are we okay with sick dog? James Sicily, 17 touches, 5 marks for his 66 points.
That's right where I wanted the sick.
Do you reckon?
I want people jumping off.
Yeah, okay.
He's just someone we don't overthink. Cast your mind back all that time ago when Sick Dog used to play and be switching the play.
Oh, yeah.
Switch it back the other side. Now, obviously, it's a new coaching regime and stuff. However, I have spoken to sources at Hawthorn who have reaffirmed that it's similar to the old days. They want the ball in his hands.
Right.
He's a damaging kick, a penetrating kick, all those buzz kick words. So, yeah, we've seen enough.
The negative kick word, though, is that he wasn't taking kick-ins. He had 2 of them. Hardwick had 5. Scrimshaw had 3. And that was where they ended up with the Hawks.
I find that very interesting. Maybe they want his kick, that little 45er through the middle of the ground.
He's the next one.
Yeah.
Which then is better because he'll take the +3 mark and he'll give the +3.
So I've seen enough in not even thinking about him.
Right, okay. So he's at 5'10", obviously very popular because of the discount he receives there. Other Hawthorn players, the rucks were interesting. So they started with Reeves, had 29 points in the first half, but then Max Lynch came on and had 54 in the second half.
39%.
So Big Boy wasn't really the ruck at all.
No.
Like he, had a couple of hit-outs, 3 of them, in fact. But, so where are they going to go? Because this is interesting for draft, especially even keeper leagues with what you're doing, because people are looking at these next-gen rucks.
Yes. Save yourself.
I got both,
wasting a
actually,
pick.
on our redraft of
Did
that.
you?
Yeah.
That was clever.
Well, yeah, but it takes up a spot. That's the
It does.
issue. But,
God, the people rounding out my draft, mate, at least they've got potential. The one guy, I can't answer that ruck stuff. We have to wait and see. However, one guy I wanted to talk about because, we were chasing names to talk about really early in the preseason, but Chad Wingard dominated in the midfield at the end of last year. What were his CBAs?
Chad Wingard, he's not on that list, is he? Hang on.
Because it would be interesting to see
Scroll down, I
what
reckon.
Bolts, I always say that, what Mitchell is planning to do.
Chad Wingard had 2.
Yeah. So it's
That's
a line
across.
through.
Yep.
And it's even a flag in your draft, isn't it?
Massively, because he's high.
Yeah.
He is.
The other one there, the rookie, so we're all in on Ward. He's ahead of Connor McDonald, but he didn't do his chance any harm either. So he had 57. I think he's 240. Kicked a goal. So he was out there.
He
Worth
was.
monitoring for that. The Tigers.
Now, hey, here we go.
What
There's
are we
a lot
talking
of relevant names here to talk
well, let's
about.
start with the preseason specialist then, Cal.
Okay, Jaden
Short.
He
126. He just does it. 171 this time last year. He had a 130 odd last week.
Loser. That's what Swanee would call him. He dominates pre-season.
He loves it.
He does, but
He's
wasn't
an option, though.
He wasn't awful in the season proper either.
No, he
so he
wasn't.
averaged about 90, but he averaged 6 more when Hooley was out.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So he's got automatic 6 points upside. I think he could push 100 this year, to be honest.
So do I.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a great option to start with.
A lot of the Richmond numbers last year are so low because they were so bad.
Yeah, and that was the thing about this game. I think it was they averaged about 1470 from memory.
Yeah.
Rain Man looked that up at some point. That was their average for the season of points for. In this game, they scored 1727.
Right.
Okay.
There's a bit of a shift.
So, Cal, you want to talk about, though, the relevant guys because they're both on your radar. The guy that you've been banging on about all pre-season, he's gone nowhere near your team until this weekend, and that's Daniel Rioli.
Daniel Rioli. So
Roy Actionary.
5 marks, taken over the Hooley role. He averaged 70-odd last year when he did this. He is priced at 56. Right? Because he's at a 56, because he played half the year as a forward where he averaged like 45 or something like that, and then he went back and he's doing this. He butchered the ball a fair bit, though. He still scored 87. Plenty of upside in him, as there is with Hugo Ralphsmith.
Right. This is the one that I'm very interested in.
So Ralphsmith, 258 forward
priced.
mid. Yeah. But Flosstone's got to come back.
Right.
My concern is he is going to maybe push Ralphsmith to the side. So So if you've got Ralphie on your field at the moment thinking, yeah, that's great, that'll work, I think you just might need a little plan B.
He's 10 marks. That was outstanding.
It was.
He's done everything right.
He's done everything.
The club
right.
would be very happy with what he's done in these last couple of weeks.
You would think so. He's
Surely.
played well. Yeah, he's definitely one to watch. If he's named, it's a strong consider.
Well,
And then
especially at that
he becomes
price.
like an F6 for
I
us.
think so.
Yeah, it means, exactly.
Shame he's just not straight F.
Yes.
So we could gain def.
Yeah.
And then we can
Yeah.
switch because that's going to be a massive part of our game this year, I reckon. DPP, Roy. I can see you getting excited about that already.
Dusty. Did
Right.
enough. 77 for him.
Swanee.
He's just come down to Tassie to have a kick.
Well, he
roll the legs
dominated
over.
last week, had plenty of centre bounces, and he even had a lot on the weekend as
Yeah.
well. So he had 16 of those. Prestia had the most for the Tigers with 18. So he was in the midfield.
In a game that he didn't really try or he didn't even really care, he nearly got what he averages.
26 touches.
You know, like he nearly got what he's priced at.
3
So,
marks. Didn't lay a tackle.
Yeah.
Had one behind.
Cruised along.
Like he will be, very good there. Gibcus, we need to watch him
We do.
as a rookie. 55 he scored, 81% time on ground. So that's that, I guess, the back mix there, isn't it?
He's a good player.
He is. 274K. You're going to have to pay up for it.
That's
But
the
that's
issue.
what we're going to have to do.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to do. Blokes like that price could be on our bench, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
How the hell do you do that?
Potentially.
A lot of coin on your bench.
It's a lot of coin on the bench, Cow. We've
God,
got
but if
14.8 million this year, though.
If they're best
That's true.
22, they're going to generate. They'll pay you back in the end. Those dead red dots that sit there all year.
30 green dots.
You need 30 green dots.
You do.
270 on your bench. You can't do that.
Nuts, dog.
How your boys, the Crows, played against Port Adelaide in a pre-season showdown at Richmond Oval.
Yeah.
Did you see who was the top scorer? Riley O'Brien.
Riley O'Brien.
Now, is he in the mix again?
No.
Nah.
You know why?
Why
You
not?
know why?
Why?
Who did he play?
He played
He played against Lycett, who played half a game, and then he went against Sam Hayes, who only played, obviously, the other half.
I think O'Brien's scoring was better when he was playing against Lycett, though, wasn't it?
I don't know, dog. I didn't watch it that closely, to be honest.
Lycett usually is a reasonably tough opponent, isn't he?
Yeah. And he was scoring well. I think he had 60 at the half.
Yeah, I
or
think he
something
did.
like that.
Yeah.
It's if you're going to do that, you've been warned.
Right.
It's just he has that
And if
soul.
you pick Riley O'Brien, you've also been warned because I've tricked you into it.
Like, here's the deal. Riley Thilthorpe. Why did I go to that?
Why did you get that job?
I don't even know. Why? Oh, my God. Wasn't even a setup. 4 hit-outs, chopping out. Like, so the job is just purely
It
his.
is. And that's the key to him, why he's an
It's the
option.
most attractive thing about him after his running style.
Yeah.
That's true.
The thing is with Riley O'Brien, if you check the scale of hardness,
Yes.
he's up against Sean Darcy and Brodie Grundy in the first 2.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's a tough start.
That hurts.
And Rob sucks at the start of the year. I think he was averaging like 68 in his first
yeah.
3.
That was bad.
He got himself nice and cheap, but then stayed cheap. And I picked him. Right, out of that too. The next one on the list for the Crows was Josh Rochelli, had 90. Kicked 3 snags. He's going to be playing round 1. That's the key to this.
Yeah.
But had 9 tackles as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Which some people will be going, he had 90 with 9 tackles and kicked 3 goals. He's not doing that each week.
No.
But he's going to be out there. But he's got the ability to do that.
Yeah.
He's got the ability to do
And
that, which
the
is positive.
the tackle count, 9.
Yeah.
On an off day, you can tackle.
Yeah.
So if he's a tackler, that's a huge bonus. We
I think
can't
he
hold
had
it
a-
against him that he had 9.
Yeah,
So
I think
he
he had
could-
70 or 80 in the first Pracky game as well.
Yeah.
So he could be a...
Kick 2 bags. The bags aren't going to be there. If
No,
you
no,
do
no.
it.
an
That's
F5 or F6.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah. He's going to have to be.
Yeah, he's got the DPP status as well. Out of the midfield, we were very happy to see Matt Crouch get through there, 76 from 71% time on
All right.
ground. He had the most centre bounces for their midfielders.
Okay, where do we sit on Matt? Because I've gone cold.
Are we going there again?
No, we're not going to sit on. Where is our thinking around Matt?
Right.
Because 76...
What is your obsession with that? At the
He
moment?
had-
Why do you sit on people? I
don't know.
Is this your new thing?
Moving
I'm
on.
giving Joe a call. What?
Matt Crouch, 31 touches for 76 points.
yeah.
Are we concerned with that?
Mate, he didn't lay a tackle.
Is he going to?
He will at least have a couple of games.
31 touches you had me at.
Well,
sold.
He didn't even reach what he's priced at.
No Rory Laird.
He had
Matt
minimal
Crouch,
time on ground, which
31 touches.
Yeah, okay.
Lock and load.
Are you in?
Oh, hell yeah, I'm
Are you in on the Matt Crouch?
Yeah, big time.
Wow, okay.
It's Matt Crouch. It is the name.
It
All-Australian, 100 walk-up and a huge ceiling.
And with Rory Laird out, you think that gets a little boost from that?
So that's one we didn't mention.
definite
Rory
boost.
Laird, broken hand, 4 to 6 weeks, so we miss a month. And that's the thing about a Crouch, for example, is that he may, well, it'd be nice if he's a keeper and there for a pretty decent amount of time, but he could make some bulk cash early on then as well. And if you wanted to or needed to flick him when Laird was back, you could. Right.
The other thing we need to mention about the Crows here is our mate Wayno did not play.
Played in the Magoos.
That's a big
But hear
deal.
this, he played in the Magoos.
Some say disappointing in it.
I think he only played a half, didn't he, Dog?
We'll see. I think, so he missed because of COVID protocols, I think, as a close contact in the Pracky game.
Right.
Yeah, it just would have been nice to have seen a game of AFL.
Now, if he's
100%.
named, could you do it?
Oh,
If he's named, probably.
I could probably jump straight back on.
378.
If he's named on the ground as well.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yep.
We need some sauce.
He was in our team all pre-season.
100%. I was reluctant to take him out. I really didn't want to.
Yep.
But I thought he would have been there this week.
What about Mitch Hinge?
Just an awkward price.
Yeah.
He's a 383. He was on the wing,
Yeah.
which is pretty good, but then Jordan Dawson will probably take that back off him.
So he's going to play round one from all the comms that we've heard from the Crows.
Yes. So you would be... No, you're not touching him based on that.
All right. Port Adelaide. Zak Butters, cow. Talk.
Hey, I'm on. I'm on the Zak Butter train.
Are you?
Yes. 107, 32 touches. He's got midfield time, Dog. So he's still coming in behind the other big boys, and that's understandable, but he is like third or fourth in line for CBAs at the moment. Kicked a couple of goals. Oh, no, sorry, he kicked one goal, 8 marks. He gets around the ground and finds the ball.
100% he does. He's been in my team all pre-season. I've been big on the breakout, and he will not move from there. He's
Right.
in. He's done enough.
Because we've got a few forwards, don't
Because
we, to be
It's the
thinking
future
about.
of their midfield. Wines, Butters.
Yep. He's priced the exact same as Isaac Heeney. We'll get to Isaac in a minute. But which one do you feel more comfortable with?
Oh, Butters, clearly.
Yeah, agree.
Rosie
He was good.
He went well.
106.
Yeah, draft slider.
Yep.
kicked a couple of goals in that. But, yeah,
Because, I mean, he's moving much better than he was last year as well. So
yeah,
he
that
is
average next to
overpriced.
his name is not going to be what
No,
he returns. He's
no,
going to be better.
definitely not. But is he a chance to play 22 games? No.
Robbie Gray hurt himself, but sounds like he's all good. There was no muscular damage.
Yeah, what happened there?
I think it was a hammy, and it was
Yeah,
quite
okay.
early in the
Yep,
game.
it was
So,
very early, yeah.
yeah, that's there. So we mentioned Lysett before. He's not an option for us, but
No.
that was just a pure sort of rest. He did hurt his ankle the week before, so
Okay.
it's good that he played and
Yeah.
played half a game, but that was probably pure management. Now, is Sam Hayes, are they going to play him together? I'm thinking no, and therefore he's not going to be a bench option for it. Well, there might be other bench options. is
Sam
what I'm
Hayes was
saying.
really good. 45% game time, and he knocked up that 50.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
But
impressive.
they pretty much played
Yes.
swap on at half time. It was
Yeah.
like playing Auskick.
Who can be the best soul ruck?
Yeah.
Lachie Jones is an interesting one. He scored 86.
Yeah, the Port's flogged them though, Cal. Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
their fantasy numbers.
But-
So Port had a 1,700. The Crows had 1,200 points altogether.
But he's the same price as Miller. You know, that around that 360, 370 mark.
Tell you the most disappointing thing in this game.
I know what you're going to say.
Sindez.
Yes, Sindez. Josh Sindez-Moses.
So 29 he had from 43% came on later.
He
So
did. That's not a good sign.
Dudes that come on
he's
later.
a best at best.
Oh, best at best.
You think?
Yes,
No, I think you're dead right. Hopefully not dead, just right. But that's fine.
Oh,
The
no.
way you think about me sometimes, Cal.
My mate, Jackson Mead.
Oh, me.
Oh, Meaty.
He came on late as well. And
The
No, he
need,
had 63% time on ground.
the
Oh,
need
God.
for Mead. I thought no good.
I thought he came on late with a score of 34. No, you could definitely cross him off then.
Oh, when is going to be his time?
Next year.
On to next preseason, Meady.
He gets to the record again.
All right, we're looking now at Marvel Stadium, the Bombers and St Kilda. Now, this is a game that I sat down and got very excited to watch, but it's one of those games where I'm not going to take a hell of a lot out of it, is how I felt about it. That was the thing.
Were you genuinely excited to watch this?
Well, don't you get excited about watching your team?
I keep a lid on it in pre-season, dog.
Not the messages you sent me after they beat the reigning premiers, Roy.
That is true.
So, Bombers. Now, interesting one there. We saw Zach Merritt dominate up to the half-time, had 60-odd.
Yes.
And that's what he stayed on.
Yeah.
Because he sat then at half-time.
He'd done more than enough.
Which then meant that Jai Caldwell got going.
He did.
He had like 67 or 69 points or something like that in the second half.
Shield was out as well.
Yes.
It's a massive flag.
So if one of those guys are out, I feel like Caldwell's a great buy. It just feels way too risky if they're all...
He's two halves. He had 31 in the first half and 67 in the second half because he got that mid-clock.
Yeah.
He looks great, sitting at the top of the Bombers list there on 98 points. But the hidden message is the fact that these other guys didn't get the clock. So it's a no. He was in my team at the start of the year. And when I saw this, I was like, wow, that looks really good. But when you dig a little bit deeper.
What about Baldwin, dog?
Yeah, so Kane Baldwin, I'm a bit excited about him, thinking that he could be a chance at a 190k forward to suit up. Taller forward, so he's a marking sort of guy, so he may not score us massive points or anything like that, but beggars can't be choosers.
No.
And if he's named there in round one, then I think we just need to put him on our bench like an F7 or an F8. He was solid, though.
He had a full game for 51.
51, kicked a goal, took 3 marks there, laid 3 tackles. So he was trying. He wanted to have a spot in round one. The other rookie that is worth monitoring too is Nick Martin, who scored 57 from 42% time on ground. Came on in that back in the second half and played a wing. They signed him SSP, so he's did all the right things training and got the spot on the list. How quick will they fast-track someone like that? Maybe not. However...
He did himself no
At
harm coming out
some point, he will play this year.
Yeah.
He will play games this year, I think.
Yep. Gosh.
Ben Hobbs didn't get a game,
Yeah, so he's ahead of Ben Hobbs then.
Well, it looks like that way, doesn't it?
So Hobbs didn't get on the ground, and that's obviously a massive flag in that one too. Andrew McGrath will gain defender status. He was there, but he did still have a few CBAs along the way, 9 of them, but he was more as a defender, and he should be able to get that 35% time on ground to do that. So Parrish, if you were happy with him, well, he did nothing wrong at all. 79 from 77%.
Yeah. He was taking it easy.
Yeah, and he still had... pretty nice, 25 disposals in that. Ridley's the other one, 8 marks. So there was no Jake Kelly, which probably made him need to play a bit more accountably.
Right. Okay. You think he can get a bit more loose than that, dog? 8 marks is a lot.
How many Carlton players did I mention?
Yeah, not this many. This is ridiculous.
Not even
Let's
close.
move over to St Kilda then.
Why?
Right, St Kilda.
Okay, hang on. Ridley had 5 kick-ins. That was back for him.
No one cares.
Right, okay. St Kilda.
He stopped us and went back to him.
Rowan Marshall, Roy.
Oh,
no Ryder.
Up and about.
Marshall.
Yeah, I am. Well, that's the thing. I need more info about Ryder because as I've been very vocal that if Ryder was out for an extended period, it would nearly be worth the punt if you need that little bit of cash. So from Max or Grundy, if you needed a bit of cash... He is an outstanding ruck with elite scoring potential if he is sole ruck.
26 points better he is when Ryder's not there.
True.
It's phenomenal. So
that's a long way
Uber.
down.
He's right up with those other two. Yeah. So there he did his thing. He's 101.
Now, interesting though, with Ryder out, Jack Hayes played as well. So
SSP, ruck forward, 190k.
So he scored a 49 and played basically a full game.
Yeah, 4 hit-outs.
So if Ryder's not there in round one, maybe, just maybe, we might see...
Who was our St Kilda ruck like that last year? Very similar circumstances.
Hunter.
Yeah,
was Hunter.
Right.
Paul.
Because
Hunter.
of Ryder.
Yeah.
Any other names that stand out? I'm looking at Jade Gresham. Probably not enough for people who are looking at him. He scored 53.
Jack still doesn't need to try. He had 86 from 82%.
Don't go away from him based on that.
Brad Hill's a good draft one there, worth looking at. that defender role really suits him, and
it does.
He's a good one.
Until he gets tagged and has 40 for you.
Do you know he's played every game the last 3 years?
That's phenomenal.
It feels like...
I'm swear he hasn't turned up on a couple.
Definitely true. Allegedly.
He walked over the line.
Yeah.
So,
he would have scored in Supercoach.
But Roy.
Jack Billings, hurt, 21.
Yes, so that's a hammy for him, probably a month, and maybe a little bit longer, like Hunter Clark. Roy, those two are members of your keeper league.
How did you know that?
Because you've whinged about that for the last 3 days.
That's when you know the season started.
Yeah.
When I'm whinging.
So those guys, injuries, and they'll be out for, probably the first month of the season.
Surely that opens a door for a rookie from...
You would think so.
Maybe. Well, who could that be? Could it be Mitch Owens?
Mitch
Owens, who came on and scored 27 from 24% time on ground.
Might be Mitch.
Could be Mitch. Could be Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller, who had 36 from 33% time on ground.
These guys thought they were in the window a couple of years ago. They're in trouble.
They are.
Looking at that. I don't think we've got anything to talk about, Dog.
Don't we?
No.
All right. Let's pack it up then. All right. Sunday now, boys. GWS and Collingwood from Giants Stadium. It was a bit wet there. But
didn't matter for the Giants.
Didn't matter for them because Collingwood last year, Cal, scale of hardness, gave up plenty of points.
I'm pretty sure they're green, Dog. Yeah.
Very green.
And they're fluoro green. Green vest green.
The big boys got it done here. Josh Kelly, 41 touches, 122, and even Timmy Time Taranto with a 122 as well.
We'll talk about him.
We can talk about him.
Let's talk about Stephen Cornelio first because I think this is the biggest news out of this game.
What did we need to see from Cornelio to really put his name forward?
I wanted CBAs.
Yep.
And I wanted possessions.
Yep.
So he had 27 touches, 10 marks. And Dog?
15 CBAs, so that's behind Hopper with 17, Tom Green with 16.
I just wanted to see him moving freely.
And chasing the ball.
Being more than that one pace that we sort of saw last year, which wasn't really pace. It was one... What speed? No, there was no speed.
No.
He just had nothing last year. But he was moving so well.
Yeah.
And he was going for 1-2s. He didn't do 1-2s last year.
No, he started so well. I think halfway through the first quarter, he was on 37.
And he was just everywhere.
Yep.
Look, I was so impressed. And I was trying not to be reactionary this year, but to see Cornelio, who we affectionately used to call Cogs, he was one of our boys.
Yes.
I just went and did it straight away.
Did you know that?
They are going to have games where these guys have the Harlem Globetrotter scores.
Yes.
Okay, and that's exactly what they've done here.
Yep.
Even Cal Ward had a 118.
Yeah.
This is what these guys are going to do when they win these kind of games.
I remember, that's where we learned how to say Cornelio.
Yeah.
You know, some commentators, and this is coming from me, but Mr. Stuff Up every name.
Phil Thorpe.
Oh, God, that's just my impediment. That's not a mistake.
Warnie, I told you don't pick on him for that.
Sorry.
Now, where was I going? Oh, yeah, remember that?
Yep.
Sheed, he told us off?
Yeah.
What did we say? Coniglio.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hear how many commentators say Coniglio?
Yeah. You'd think they'd bloody learn, Roy.
I cringe every time.
Right.
Anyway,
I blame him a little bit for it. If you've got a nickname Cogs, you say the G.
Yeah.
Anyway, play on.
Right. His name's not Coes. Now,
he didn't give himself his own nickname.
No, fair.
It's not his fault.
Question for you guys.
Right.
We're not going Josh Kelly, although it would be great unique.
You could. There's no reason you couldn't.
X-Man said it the other day, didn't he? Was that who he was talking about?
Yep.
Priced at 104.
You could do it, but you're coming with some risk because of games played.
Yeah.
Of course.
History.
But he's actually underpriced because he spent so much time playing forward last year. Remember that?
Yeah, yep.
Right, we're not going Taranto because
He's an option.
Right.
Taranto kicked 2 goals, 1. He will go forward.
Yeah.
They've already talked about it.
He's allowed to go forward if he's playing 97% game time.
Yeah, isn't that ridiculous?
That's phenomenal. So, look, people like us are going to go, 122, we're so cool to take notice of that.
Yeah.
He's playing forward because Toby Green's out.
Yeah.
People that still back it, they're going to be happy.
Yeah.
I think it can still be all right. It's just you can't do it. What's priced at 108, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just so much money.
He's 115 as a midfielder.
Yeah.
That's what he is, in my opinion.
We just want him to suck.
He will
while
be
Toby
out.
Green's out, and we'll get him at round 6.
Okay.
7% in a preseason game.
I know, we're not doing it. Are we doing Cogs?
Yeah, I am.
Yep, lock.
Yeah, okay, good.
And if it burns me, so be it. At least I went a big name.
Nice. Lachie Whitfield, I think, did enough for his 86.
He's just Lachie
He just had
Whitfield.
to run out on the park.
Now, here's one, dog. What about Prusy?
Right, Bruce, 85. Now, big questions about this, but then tonight
Saved us an issue.
he's been offered a week by the MRO for his tackle on Brodie Grundy, which was a bit dangerous.
You know that bit of string you talked about at the start?
Yes.
Snip the end off. Oh. Just got a bit shorter because of this.
Yeah,
did.
That's the thing. We would have been this. He was a serious option, and
He
this
needed to be talked about.
So we'll give him a little bit just because he shared the ruck,
Yes.
but it was very evident that Flynn was the number one ruck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Prusy started at full forward. It was just a.
It was the thing is, it was evident he is going to be able to score as a forward
So he
that
had
chops out.
6 marks and 6 tackles. They were the big stats there
Yeah.
on his stat line.
Dropped a couple. He
Dropped
could
a
have
couple of
taken
marks
too.
as well. Yeah, could have had a ton.
Yeah. So the thing is, he's a very interesting prospect for his price, but we don't have to worry about it this week at least.
Well, it sort of saves us. Priced at an average of 44, 367,000.
That's why
Like
it's a
even
bargain.
sharing the ruck, and this
Yeah.
is what was going through my head.
Yeah.
Is that's why we probably haven't been as keen and
Yeah.
not wanting him as an
Yeah.
option. Even sharing the ruck, what does he need to average? If he busted out an 85 there, but if he went 70, that would be a massive win from 44.
And there's no way he wouldn't average more than 70.
But we don't even have to worry about
We
it.
don't.
Right. So we're not talking about him. Oh, you know who we should look at? Scroll down. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Oh, breakout.
Cows breakout. 95 average, Lachie Ash.
Pre-season, mate. Grain of salt. Grain of salt.
So you're still backing him into average 95?
I might drop it a little bit.
To what?
70.
No.
You'll be right. Don't worry about him, dog.
He's all right. Big Cole Calvin.
I don't know who else there is really from their team other than that top tier group.
Yeah, and they are delicious, and they're all putting their hand up.
Well, it is against Collingwood, and Collingwood were obviously giving up points. But number one on the list for Collingwood.
Goodness,
They didn't have anyone score a ton, but we had a bloke nearly score a ton with 99, Nick Daicos.
Oh, wow.
If you don't mind, son.
So good.
31 touches, and they were elite touches
What
as
about
well.
the coach? Basically said they tried to give him a rest on the ground, but he literally was finding the ball wherever they put him. That's how good he is.
He was awesome.
He's going to win the Rising Star.
Yes.
He's going to win the Michael
thanks for
Barlow
that.
No worries.
Michael Barlow medal
Yep.
in fantasy. He will have defender status.
Oh my
By
God.
round 6 because of that role, and it's definitely a lot of defender. That's
Yep.
where he's lining up. And
It's hard not to love.
he'll be a keeper.
Probably.
He'll be a keeper for us in D6.
In defence.
All right.
Is that going overboard?
No. The only thing is he'd probably bump up a bit higher than D6.
He could be one of those ones that people go, oh, he's made so much cash him out, and burn them.
Burn.
Because
Yeah,
you
burn.
could honestly
Feel the burn.
go across a guy like that who could be, let's say 85. That would be a really nice return. And if he kept doing that, there is a chance that the guy you upgrade to does that or less.
Yep. Now, Crispy.
Right,
There's all this
Crisp.
talk about him playing much more through the midfield, which we're always in two minds because he's good down back as well. But what did his CBA
Correct.
count
He
look
was
like?
the highest CBA for non-ruck. So Grundy
Yeah.
was 24, but then Crisp was 16. No Taylor Adams, but I don't think that affects him.
It
I think
doesn't.
who that might affect is possibly DeGoey, who had 15.
Yeah, that'll be
CBAs.
lower than that. Yep.
And sources
Well-
on that one too.
Are you guys picking Crisp at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah, just as a safe 100
He
sort of guy.
came out of my team. Sorry, he came into my team for Jake Lloyd. I saw enough of Lloyd.
Yes, I think that's a good move.
Yeah,
He saw
looked-
enough of Lloyd,
Yeah,
but he didn't do enough.
Yes,
Yep.
it was very frustrating
You
to
had
watch him
enough of
play,
Lloyd.
but he was okay. I just think this is an easy 100.
Good to have a bit of stability in
Yep.
your team, and he
Doesn't
can go
miss a game.
and he can go 140 as well from a defender. That's
Yep.
like
Now,
sets
Pendle's
up your
had
round.
90, and he's playing that halfback role,
Yes.
which we know that's a thing. He could be in calculations for Classic when he gains that defender status
100% he
for us.
could,
But definitely draft. With his average next to his name, you maybe bumping it a little bit to know that he will definitely have defender
Yep.
status in round 6.
Now, Brodie Grundy looked lean
ripped.
did.
Yep.
He got double teamed.
And that's the issue.
manhandled
So
a bit.
83 points from 80% time on ground. So nothing too much to worry about. But he, as you said, Roy, he was double teamed.
He doesn't tend to try at all in pre-season.
No.
I've
He's,
noticed over
he's
the
got
years.
a pig status. He doesn't need to.
No, he doesn't at all.
But yeah, there's no concerns.
No.
However, he might have some of those leaner ones against dual ruck setups.
Yep,
Because
potentially.
they bullied him a bit.
Yeah, they didn't. Obviously, if you have two on him, they're always a bit fresh because his work around the ground looked back to old school
Yes.
pig.
Agreed.
Like his ability picking it up off the ground. It was back to the days where he used to be referred to as an extra on baller. And we didn't really see that last year. He looked like just a big ruck that was just very good still, but he was back to that extra on baller.
Braden Maynard got offered 2 weeks from the MRO. So, well...
Oh, there were a few people interested in him, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
he's definitely a draft one you're thinking about.
I think his midfield dreams dried up over the preseason.
Yeah.
I think we can cross the goat off now.
So Jordan De Goey, 55 from 71%.
And 15 CBAs. So he had a little go in there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like he's produced it.
We're not degoating this year.
We're not goating that. Not yet.
As much as how hot we were on that
Here's a guy I was hot on.
prior to New York.
I was on Lipinski.
Yeah, so this is sad news.
So, and he was on track to score well again. He scored 18 from just 20% and then did an ankle. As I said to you blokes before, he was walking around afterwards.
Okay, so you still think he's a chance?
No, I think he might still play, but I don't think you can pick him.
Cow's not even sending him for scans.
No.
Really?
I'm not even going for scans.
Bit of rest ice elevate.
Well, I couldn't get in there because Treloar was at the door and he wouldn't. But I think he's okay. I think he'll play. Nathan Kruger won't play, dog.
Could help. Well, he's suspended as well.
He got
off for
done.
a week, but which could open the door for Will Kelly,
Yes, it could.
possibly,
But
maybe.
It's only a 1 weeker though, isn't it? But we thought Will Kelly was pretty close anyway.
Yeah,
In desperate times like this, I always say, but in that 1 week, they get a chance to hold their spot.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and we're just looking for these. Well, he's 191k, but we're looking for we're looking for anything under about 250 at the moment.
Yeah.
It's dire.
Slim picking.
Dire. Yeah. I guess that's about it.
That's all they wrote on this one, dog.
That's all they did. So then that takes us still at Giants Stadium, and that was Sydney and North Melbourne. And Cal, I know that you watched this every second of it and hung off every second.
I sure did.
You puffed your little chest out. Big chest, actually.
Massive chest.
When you saw what happened at the start with who went forward.
Okay. Now, Tom Papley is injured.
Yeah.
And he'll miss, they reckon, probably the first 2 rounds of the season.
Yeah.
Lance Franklin didn't play.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoop-de-bloody-do, Basil.
Yeah.
Isaac Heeney had 5 CBAs in this game, sat forward, kicked 4 goals, dominated the hell out of it, but he was only playing North Melbourne, there's a flag, for his ton. The concern here is horse will horse.
Yeah.
Okay?
Of course.
Not bad. Not bad. Oh, that's a sheep. It's been a late night. Right. So, the thing is with Heeney, he is good everywhere. The fact that he's still pumping out tons, sitting forward, but he's playing North Melbourne.
I know where you're going with all of this, Cal.
He was in my team.
Valid. Yeah.
He was in my team, and he's no longer in my team.
It's funny,
Am I
isn't it?
being Roy Actionary? He's priced at an average of 76.
Scored 100, mate.
So he's better than that.
Yeah.
He's better than that even purely as a forward.
Yes,
So
and that's...
this cannot be an awful pick.
No, I don't think so.
But to be an awesome pick...
He needs a mid-time.
Yeah.
So, the 4 goals is the thing that got him to 100.
He's priced the same as Zak Butters.
Okay, what do you do if you are horse and you need a goal? Who do you go to?
That's
play
it.
Heeney in the midfield?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
You send him forward,
You sure do.
don't you?
You have Buddy and Laddams there, though, don't you?
So you're sending him forward, aren't you?
Yep.
Like Buddy, I respect.
I just think that after this is a reminder.
Still go at 90.
You keep going on about roll.
Yep.
This is a role that Horse dictates every single week, and you'll be watching it going, oh, where's he going? Where's he going? Oh, God, he's going forward, right? He's not playing North Melbourne every week.
No.
If you were the opposition coach, he'd give you more headaches if he was in the forward line.
Yes?
They're double teaming Buddy.
Yep.
Oh, Heeney's there, though.
Yep.
Got to man up. Got to respect Heeney. Don't have to respect... Who'd you say? Laddams.
Where do we sit with Heeney? Because I know you're a Heeney lover, dog.
Sit with him, right next to him, mate. He's still in my side at the moment.
Is he really?
I'm not going to sit on him, but I'm just going to sit next to him.
You would.
You'd love.
So, the other big one out of this game, Roy, I read the record the other day.
Oh, yes.
On your Sydney watch list.
Hang on, I'll just sit up a bit.
Okay. And I went down and I was like, who's this Justin McInerney?
Yep.
And I read about him. Holy hat.
You probably read it like that because there's every chance I misspelled it. However, keep going.
Coming off a wing.
Yeah.
30 touches, a goal, and hunted the ball.
Hunted it.
Super fit.
Yeah.
He's mixing it up between the wing and an inside mid-roll at a CBA.
Yep.
Phenomenal role, unbelievable price, defender status, given that he's written up in the record.
Yeah, I know.
Must make him good.
I think that clears us all from it being a total chase.
I agree. My question to you, and I saw someone on Twitter say, what can he go at?
Yeah.
What do you reckon? 85
Plus, yeah.
Yeah. Someone said he's priced at 70. Is that enough?
Is the 15-point upside enough? Yes.
I think it is too.
Yeah, it'd be so nice
think
if
it'll
you
be
could
more.
be confident that he goes to 90 because that would make him an absolute lock.
I think he
because
can.
that puts him in that real top 6 to 10 conversation.
I feel he can. The way he played, he was just everywhere.
He was.
Reading it so well. Apparently he's had an awesome preseason, works real hard on his game, knows his role on the wing really well, was a quote.
All right.
So in his last 6 games last year,
Yeah.
he averaged 83.
Yeah. And that was there was a shift back to
There
wing
was.
/ halfback
Yep.
in that time, wasn't there?
Yeah. Callum Mills, 41% time on ground, had 86 at the half. That's where he said, yep, that's enough for me. He's
My
good at
God.
this.
Isn't he?
Eight tackles.
He just has massive points per minute numbers when he plays.
So the last 2 halves of football he's played would add up to
About 160.
160.
So the thing is, I was actually a little bit surprised that he played because he'd been battling this Achilles.
Yeah.
But that's why he had the minimal time on ground or the half a game. They just got those into his legs. So he's going to be right for round 1 and right for the picking for anyone that might be thinking, oh, he's had an interrupted preseason for your draft.
For draft. Yeah.
Because 110 plus he
Yeah.
was last year,
Yeah.
and with upside.
Yeah, that was 110 plus, and he had that last game of the season. He only got 70.
Yeah.
That's because he only played the first half.
Wow.
So he was tracking for a 115 sort of season.
Cow, you removed Jake Lloyd from your team.
I did. I'm just looking at his numbers here. 26 touches, 8 marks for his 90 points.
It's all right.
Yeah, but he didn't look like the Jake Lloyd of old.
Is it the Swans changing things a little
I don't know. I just didn't
Are
like
they being
what
a
I
bit more
saw.
efficient out of the back line?
Yeah.
He took 8 marks, and this is what he does, but I just didn't like what I saw.
You know what you didn't see?
What didn't I see?
That ability to have that, and I'm not even joking, that 50 to 60 point quarter that used to boost him to that next level. Remember he used to have those quarters?
Yeah.
Can you really see them relying on him that much back there to have those quarters? Because he's used to save himself. Remember, 3/4 time, 50. Oh, no, Lloydie, you're killing me here.
Yeah.
Send a little rocket, 100.
He'd do it.
Yeah, he would. I don't know if that is going to fit.
It's going to be interesting. It probably changed a bit, like Braden Campbell's back there.
Yeah.
Dylan Stevens.
Lizard
The Lizard.
even takes kickouts now.
Yeah, what did that look like? So the kick-ins, Lloyd had 6, Blakey had 3. That was all of them for those guys because North Melbourne, they kicked 9.
Is it a kick out or a kick in?
Kick-in is the official term.
Is it really?
According to Champion Data.
Is it?
You know how we're desperately looking for cheap options
Oh,
in
I know
defence?
who you're going to talk about.
No, I'm just talking about it. I'm not saying you could do it. But Paddy McCartan
Awesome
scored
first quarter.
56,
I
great
think he had
first quarter.
30-odd in the first quarter.
He played bulk time on ground,
Bulk.
91%.
Yeah.
I
So
think
he's in
he-
their plans.
I think he's best
he is.
22, and at 270-odd K,
Beggars can't be choosers.
Rookie price, former number 1 pick,
Bench him.
great preseason.
I wouldn't bench it.
Defender forward status.
Yeah, look, I don't know. If we are looking for guys,
handy.
if we are looking for green dots, then that could be one right there.
Well, for
I'm
the
not
same
saying-
price, Cow, looking at North Melbourne, Tristain Xerri.
Right.
110.
This has to be talked about.
Forward
It
status.
does.
Doesn't have the ruck status at the moment, but you would think with what he did on the weekend, he'll be in line to pick up the ruck status in round 6.
So where's Coleman Jones?
So he was out, injured, I'm pretty sure.
Injured, right. Because there's 3 rucks in the mix there. Now, there was all the talk about Goldie won't be there for their next premiership, so they need to transition. But let's be honest, bloody, who will be their next premiership? But seriously, that was a bit harsh.
No,
that's fine.
Okay, sorry, pretend I didn't say that. But he averaged well in the VFL last year when he was sole,
very well
when he was sole ruck. So the ability's there. It's just Goldstein does have ability forward as well, but how is that mix going to look? Like, give me some splits.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it 50-50?
If it is, then he seriously needs to be considered.
He does.
29 hit-outs compared to Goldie's 22. He was the main man.
Look, 29 hit-outs. Some of our rookies,
Won't
if
score.
they were getting to score 29, start on 29, like he's going to, everything else is a bonus. We really want our rookies hitting 50 or 60.
And he does half of that in hit-outs.
Yeah.
Once again, not saying jump into your team and
No,
put him in there.
and he hasn't even sat in mine.
But what I see him as a guy, like a Hugo Ralphsmith, for example.
Yes.
If he's not named round 1 and he's sitting F6 for me,
You could jump on.
and old Xerri's there, that could be an easy switch for me.
It's not... Look, the game's not that different at the moment that Xerri could sit on the bench or anything, is it?
I don't think I'm going to put that on my bench, no.
It's a bit too much.
It's a lot. I think we'll find
We
these
might get it,
190Ks. I think we're going to find
We
them.
might have a couple up forward that we can do.
Yeah, I think they're going to be there, especially forward.
Yeah.
But maybe old...
Tristain Xerri.
Yeah,
Why do you say his name wrong, dog?
Xerri. How do you say it, dog?
Xerri, that's how you pronounce it.
I learned to speak.
All right, the other ones there were... What's Thomas's first name?
Tarryn.
Tarryn, good, you got that right.
Yeah,
So,
78. That's...
78 from 81%.
I think you'd be happy with
ticking
that.
along. Well, he was the 3rd banana for the CBAs.
What's his term, banana?
Why are you calling
keep
them
using?
bananas all the time?
I don't know.
It's
I've just heard it
weird.
before.
Yeah,
Who
it doesn't
said
even
it?
make sense.
It's weird.
Davies Uniacke, 15. Simpkin, 15. And then Tarryn Thomas, 13. Hugh Greenwood, 11. So that's sort of their rotation of the 4.
Right.
Horn Francis at 8. He went in there as well.
Well, Horn Francis is obviously a lock. That guy is
Oh, my God.
unbelievable.
He kicked a couple of goals for his 78.
Yeah.
My problem with Tarryn, because as you guys are, we are massive fans.
Oh, yeah.
Watch his career very closely, so I think he is a jet already and going to be a superstar. I just fear that it is tough going for him in at the Roos at the moment where they're sitting in the scheme of things.
There's a lot of midfielders there.
Yeah.
And that they'll probably want to be giving midfield time to, whether that's for development or whatever it is.
And is there enough easy ball going around for him to get from his 78 or whatever he got here to 98?
Yeah, I agree.
They don't get much Hollywood time.
No, they don't. Not like the Pies
No.
or the Giants
No.
or those teams. No, I agree.
So that's my concern. But if you are big on him, 100% back that in still.
Oh, yeah.
Like he did enough that game. That's my concern that might keep him from being in that uber premium where I think his talent actually sits him.
Fair call.
Very fair.
Right.
All right.
That's about all I got.
That's about all you
Surely they've got some rookies.
got. Yeah.
They
not
got
really.
Josh Goat. The Goater came on
Goater.
for a little bit, but no, he's not in the mix. So, no,
They
not many.
got a few people through is probably the thing, like in the last year or two. So that's where they're at. Tom Powell didn't really set the world on fire with that mid-forward status. We thought that he could be an improver.
We probably put him a bit high in the draft rankings, actually.
Potentially. Yeah.
Jaden Stevenson, 26.
Not good.
Even Jai Simpkin there with 61. A lot of people were hoping that he could go into that 100 bracket.
So, because I loved that people were going for
Yeah,
him
it was cool.
as
Yeah,
unique
but-
because his potential is through the roof. He's a gun. Does that scare you off?
I don't know. It definitely would scare you off a bit.
Or are you happy that he stays unique? It's a fine line.
Isn't it ever?
I think with a unique, you really want to see.
You want something.
You want to see enough.
Because if
to
you go with him as a unique and he comes out and sucks,
yeah.
everyone just goes, mate, he had 61 in the AAMI.
It's a bloody lonely place.
It is a very lonely place.
All right. It's time for us to head to Optus Stadium now for Fremantle and West Coast. Second time they've played in a week. And, Freo, West Coast. We saw for Freo Luke Ryan doing his thing as he does his thing.
The Ryan roll.
Yep. 4 kick-ins.
He's got the roll, Roy.
4 kick-ins, which is 4 of 6 there. But thing is, he just took marks. 13 of them.
He has those days. He has those days.
So, we know that. Draft. One of the guns of the competition is Andrew Brayshaw. He had 102 from 77%. He could be that 107 to 109, so 108.
Oh, my God.
Old statesman.
I love that.
Yes, but the big name out of this one, I suppose, is Will Brodie. Yes. 387 mid-forward. He's got that midfield role. So that's what it was looking like there. So with their CBAs, I guess...
No Fife.
Yeah. No Fife was there. So their CBAs, Mitch Croden, 22. Then you had Darcy at 16, Sarong 15, Brayshaw 15, 13. So it's about the same as what Sarong and Brayshaw are doing, is what Brodie had. So we've got 5 coming in, but he can play the wing as well.
Okay. So they looked pretty happy with him. Now, if anyone's ever going to pick a fault with him, it's his ball use.
Yeah.
But he went over 70%.
Yep.
Okay. Time on ground a concern for him?
Yeah, 67%.
67.
And that was it throughout the whole game. And he sat, like he had a stint and then sat. Sat.
Yeah,
like,
so is his fitness not there or what's not there? Because you go 67%, 96 is epic.
Yeah. Think about what they did to Sarong.
If you're not on, is he getting Sarong clock?
It doesn't matter. He's priced at 46.
Yep.
That's true.
So at the end of the day...
remind yourself of that. If he's getting a game...
You can Sarong clock him as much as you want.
He's playing mid he's 46.
Agree. Let's talk about Sarong because he scored a 91.
Yep. Didn't do anything wrong.
Where do we sit with him?
I don't know why he's out of my team. I must have needed a cash grab after a few beers one night and he's never come back.
Hasn't he come back?
No, he was offended, I think.
So priced at 82... We sort of think that he might be pushing that 100 mark this year.
I reckon, yeah.
There's nothing in here that indicates that he won't.
No.
Right.
Dog?
I just found guys I like more. That's what happened.
Yeah, I know.
He's a good player. And he had the 71% time on ground. So that's still, like 67 for Will Brodie. We go, that's such little.
Yeah.
It's only 4% less than what Sarong had. So
that's great, man.
It's just what...
He's on.
But that's what they're... That's what they're about, but is that just because it's the pre-season?
I don't know, but it's borderline risky.
Can I say who was everyone hot on from WA as their R2 or drafted them really highly?
Yes.
Sean Darcy.
Yeah.
47 he scored from 80%.
Oh, we can't look into that.
Yes, he played against Nick Nat, but Nick Nat didn't score as well. But seriously.
They did a gentleman's handshake at the start and
didn't take a mark, the big fella.
He doesn't need to. No. Pre-season.
Yeah, he just ticked the legs over.
You would not be concerned.
Hard to still back yourself.
Yes, it would. Once again, a very lonely place. I hear you.
It is unique.
Yeah, it is.
And like you said, the backlash of you start with him and then cry, poor me, and then everyone, didn't you watch the
he had 47.
47, you idiot. What were you thinking? And it's like, what was I thinking? Quit.
Jordan Clark will add defender status with the way he's going. He scored 82.
Heath Chapman was good
that's
too.
What we expected
with a 90. Liam Henry, dog.
Yeah, I'm on the wing.
Bit on the wings. He only scored 67.
Yeah.
But that's okay. He's priced at 317 as a 4.
Yeah, I think we've just got other options now.
Yeah.
He was there, if we needed
Xerri.
it.
Yeah.
If we needed it.
Michael Walters is super cheap. Yeah. He scored 97. You couldn't do it because it is that
10 marks.
Role. 10 marks, 2 goals.
He's priced at 62, right?
Yeah, it's so cheap.
All right, for West Coast now, while Ellis was keen on Sean Darcy, he was also keen on Tim Kelly, who had 110, and he will be the biggest banana in that midfield.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Is it like a fruit bowl?
What's all this fantasy terminology you bring to shows?
I don't know.
Yeah. My mate Graff.
Look, he's fit. He's fit,
yes,
Tim Kelly, and he's a gun when he is fit. So he's underpriced, and that 110...
He is underpriced.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
He's actually priced at 84 for those playing along.
So he should push 100.
Yeah, you'd think
He's got
so.
a bloody lot of work to do for that team too.
He sure does.
Witho, he scored well with an 84, but he's copped the week from the MRO as well. So that's another one there. Cow's mate Gaff went at a point per minute. He's going all right there. You won't pick him though.
Hey.
But I think where we're going to get any value from the Eagles from is some of their kids. So let's look at some of them. Brady Hoff. So he's
230, dog.
Yep.
Yeah, 230.
So 230 midfielder. Could be a dollar figure that we might have to have on our bench.
100%. Scoring 65 too.
Yep.
It's nothing to turn your nose up at.
No, that's fine.
No, that's right. So he could certainly be in their plans. Got a bit busy there towards the end of the game.
He's the seventh best scorer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. That sums up a
That
bit.
puts things in perspective.
Patrick
where they're at.
Naish. Now, he's SSP. Well, not yet. He could be signed.
Don't
by
search for him yet.
No, don't search. He's
not in the game.
He was a Tiger, you might remember, played a
Yes.
handful of games or whatever. He scored 52 from 37% time on
Bang.
ground.
Because I
he's
turned on that game late, so I only saw the last quarter and a bit.
Yep.
And I thought, man, he is killing it. I was really surprised when I just flicked on and checked his score. I thought, oh man, I thought he'd been much better than that.
Yeah.
And then I saw that time on ground.
Yep.
Amazing. So there is a chance, I reckon, that some of these guys that are getting signed up late do actually get named.
Especially for the Eagles, because
So
they're
Naish
so
is like that,
decimated.
and then Tom Joyce is like that too. Had 58 from 60% time on ground. So got to watch whether they get picked up, and then they could play round one.
So how long do you reckon Naish has been training with him?
I think he only flew in a few days before it.
Really?
Yeah,
Because I was talking to Cow. I was thinking he's probably been training for the last couple of months with him. Is it not that?
we
I
need
don't
this.
think so.
We need
Wow.
some sources, right, down at the
Badly
training.
need some sort.
Definitely
Go suss it
one
out.
that we do need to watch there. Hugh Dixon was signed recently, so he's got the ruck forward status, basement price. He only had 38, played at centre half forward pretty much, but played a full game, 89% time on ground.
That's
So
promising.
It's promising in the fact that, he might be in their plans to hold down that role. So Waterman didn't play, and you'd think that might be
Yeah.
fighting with him.
Yes.
But he's got the ruck forward status, old Hugh Dixon.
Right. Interesting.
Interesting.
Desperate. I don't think we're that desperate.
We're a little bit desperate. I don't know.
Something will pop up.
I tell you what, though, what excites me about the Eagles...
What
What excites me about the Eagles was that because there has been these injuries,
You're a bad man.
there
Calvin.
are names like Naish and Hassel the Hoff. These guys that we probably didn't expect.
Yeah.
These guys could be like our M8.
Yeah.
These guys could come in late here and save the day.
That's fair. Have you
Look how
found
happy you are about it, you smirking sicko.
Have you found Hoff when you've searched him? Do
Yeah.
you know how to spell it?
HOFF.
No, that's right. It's HOU.
Yeah, like Hoff, you moron. I got it.
Oh, good. I'm just trying to help you
I
out.
didn't. I had to ask.
Yeah, I know. Final game.
One to go, boys. We got here.
It's been a big one. Gold Coast and Geelong from Metricon Stadium. Cow, you still awake?
I'm still here.
We just finished watching that one. And so, what we learnt from it?
Important game.
Took Miller. Did we learn anything?
Took is still Took.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we didn't learn
100%.
anything.
You know what this has done to me, though? This is split.
Really?
This is split because I'm Jack Steele,
You're a big spender.
You're jumping
me.
at shadows here, aren't
where
you?
I am.
But you're a lover of both, though.
I'm love them both. You're
Yeah.
dead right.
But you've been all in on Jack Steele, as we have been all pre-season, because of his draw.
He's got a
However,
great draw.
you're taking him out and putting Took in after watching that. Is this just recency bias?
This is AAMI reactionary.
Isn't it ever? 10% ownership for the big Took.
Is that all?
Okay.
29 for Jack Steele.
Oh.
That's a lot. It's a big difference there. They weren't that far apart last year. Anyway.
Jack Steele plays against Collingwood round one, Cow.
he sure
And you've
does.
spent weeks of talking up Jack. People probably listen to that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not throwing people off here. Took is Took, and he is bloody good.
Bloody atheist.
8 tackles, 2 goals,
Okay.
2 marks, and
Right.
32 disposals for
And a
his
work
130.
rate that is through the roof.
He's just good. All right, the big
Still.
one, though.
The big one.
And this is what has changed in your team, Calvin, because
Yes.
you're all in on 4 rookies in the midfield.
Oh,
So-
define all in. It's been a long day, dog.
At M4 will be Matt Rao.
Well, that's where he is
with
at the moment.
464.
That is so cheap.
At 4, M4.
It's too cheap. This is a guy that burst onto the scene with huge numbers. Numbers that
Tons.
compared to Sam Walsh's as a junior. That's how good this guy is. And then he's burst onto the scene and he's pumped out 2 big hundreds in his first 3 games. I think he had like 9 Brownlow votes after 3 games.
Dominated.
So that's how good he is.
Yeah.
Last year, complete mess, injury.
And that really hurt his numbers.
His numbers sucked.
So he is that cheap. He scored 101, 27 disposals, 7 tackles, no marks. Is that a concern?
It is, but it always has been.
Inside type guy. He had 18 contested.
He's CBA's
He
good too,
had the highest of all of the Suns, so he had more than 2.
Did you see the strapping on his shoulders?
Was there any?
None.
None
to be seen.
Lock him in.
Okay, here's another one.
Now, is it? Yeah. M4 or M5?
It's got to be M5.
That's where you want him to be, but it's going to depend on these rooks.
I'm squeezing at M5. That's my plan.
I think he needs to be there. He scored 56 more points than what he's priced at.
Yeah.
See, it just can't go wrong.
And it's 78% time on ground too.
46.
46. Good.
It's a long night.
Like, the thing is, we shouldn't have even needed to see that many points.
I know.
We should have, as soon as there was no strapping.
Oh, 100%. Agree.
All right.
He's just back.
Okay, lock. Let's look down the list
here. We picked
here.
him last year at way more than that.
Yes. All right, let's keep going. Who else are we looking at?
Noah Anderson didn't do enough, I don't think.
Yep.
So for guys predicting a breakout with him,
71%, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
He gave away 5 free kicks.
Yeah, that hurts.
That's the thing for Noah Anderson. Okay, Lachie Weller. Everyone has been hot because of this half-back role.
Yeah.
He's got the mid-forward status. He's relatively cheap.
Yep.
And hopefully, well, he was taking some kick-ins.
Yeah.
I haven't got those numbers on me, but...
They only kick 6 behinds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and last week he was up against North Melbourne, yeah?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's a disgusting game.
It is. Jared Witts.
He was there.
He did a
46
good job.
from 54%
Mate,
on
he did a
ground.
good job.
He had 1 kick.
So
One
Mabior
kick.
He
Chol
gets so many hit-outs,
was
though.
taken off with a bit of tight
tightness.
hamstring, but he wasn't, well, he only had the 1 hit out himself, and obviously he didn't have a massive time on ground with 37%, but they brought on Ned Moyle when he was off, so 32% time on ground for him.
So Witts only played about half a game.
So Witt's points per minute
Yeah, it would be pretty
are
high.
fantastic.
They are.
And for his value,
He didn't bother laying a tackle, and he only took 1 mark. He's going to be very solid. If
He will
can
be
pump
very
out
solid.
80% game time.
That's it.
Yeah, very interesting. Oh, it'd be tough if you're someone that's seriously considering him because he's done enough while he was on the ground. But
Yeah. That time on ground is the factor.
it is.
it is the factor. Right, I think that's probably enough from the Gold Coast Suns. We are getting tired. So we better talk about Geelong, who at their top of their list is Zak Guthrie. Breakout incoming? He showed some good games last year.
He did.
He went at 48.
Oh.
Percent.
Yeah.
Oh. Jeez.
Efficiency,
Yeah.
not good.
That's not
bad.
good. We don't care about that.
His brother
though, do we?
Cameron
No,
had
we don't. But
92
do you
as well.
stay in the team?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
keep getting the ball?
Okay, so players that we're really interested here was looking at the rooks in Sam de Koning. He had 70. He
was big early too.
19 disposals, 5 marks, 2 tackles, and he played 91% of the game. So
Okay.
they didn't have Tom Stewart,
No.
but there's a role there for him, I think.
Yeah, that's got saviour written all
He's
over
got
it.
he's got what?
That's got saviour written all over it.
Yep.
Yep.
I think he plays.
That's a 190.
190K
that
defender
he's
forward.
playing.
So now he had a 30 last week
Yeah.
in the other game.
So we're not expecting big scores from him. He is a D7 or 8 or F7 or F8.
Should
Might
just
be the
keep
D.
ticking it over, though, shouldn't he?
He needs to be in defence
And that's
because
what-
we have a few.
You said to me earlier today, Cal.
Oh, here we go.
13 hours that we've been in.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I've said a lot of things.
Basically, that you could just go someone that you think's coming in later on because he's not going to increase in price. But I said to you, what did I say? Actually, it was quote. He gets a 70 there, and that'll give a bump to his price increases.
That's a good point. You did
Now,
say that.
This 70 doesn't count, unfortunately. But if he does that in one of these first couple of games, then that's a win, and you have to do it
You do.
if he's playing.
Danger, just plotted around. 76 for him, couple of goals.
Oh, Cal, we were talking rookies, and so that was like the segue into going into Cooper Stevens,
Oh.
who you have not stopped talking about for the last hour.
Have you
Till
seen him?
it counted.
Yeah. He's a big man. He's
He
a
is.
big man. So he was drafted pick number 16 back in 2019.
21.
Right? 21 years old. Few injuries have held him back.
Yeah.
Yep.
He comes out here as a 190k midfielder and scores a 62.
From 64% time on ground.
So the 64%, do they want him in there for round one?
I think they do. I think he's in.
I think he's in.
Right.
Don't tell me the Cats are going to have our back.
Chris Scott will find a way.
He'll
find a way.
Is he like a sub corner guy though? Could be.
Oh, potentially.
So anyway,
just get him in there, I reckon.
Even if he is a sub, he's 190k. We might as well. Because there's probably not other options for 190k
They
midfielders. Tyson Stengel, a few people were thinking about with his lower price. 47, he scored. Kicked the one goal in that there.
And it was a germ goal late.
It was late.
Yeah.
So
take 9 points off his score and that's his real number right
But that's some people are going, rookie price or in the rookie range worth... well, you've got to think about him. Anyone else?
Well, he plays, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's it. Job security is up there for that.
No one else.
There's no one else there.
Yep.
No. Well done, boys.
Matt Rouse, the massive story out of it.
So I think the massive story is what restructure might look like for our teams. Ideal world, M5.
Yep. It's just a cash grab for me. Like I'll just move someone like, dare I say it, in the one podcast, Matt Crouch down to him.
Wow.
I was so in 2 hours ago.
I know you were.
This has been a long day, lads. A massive day as we've got through all 9 of these games. We're down to, I think it's 8 days or so until lockout.
Bring
the first
it on.
lockout.
I'm fatiguing.
Oh, yeah.
We need to have a good rest this week because we're coming up to our draft weekend. Like a lot of coaches should be doing, having your fantasy drafts this weekend. Get those organised if you haven't. So click on draft, go and set up a league, get your mates together. We are in for a humdinger.
I've been busy
Greatest
today.
day on the calendar.
Well, Roy's got us started. That's as the winner from last year and the new commissioner for this year.
Yep.
Getting the draft order sorted. Giving us some weird thing to do. We've got to pick all these names, weird names.
Okay, no. I haven't asked you yet.
Ex-players and personalities.
Yeah.
So
now, what scoring system are we doing, Roy?
Yeah.
we're not changing it.
No, you don't get to choose that.
I do.
Win it then.
Because I'm not paying for the thing to change it.
Right, I'll keep it the same.
Same.
We could. I have paid for it, actually, already. So, because
keeping it the same as he changed it to last year?
So we can talk about fantasy football as we do. We get too confused.
I don't.
In our job.
Yeah, okay.
Our job is important.
Roy?
It was difficult at times last year.
You were reeling off stats and going, he had 102. And we're going, no, he had 70 because you stuffed our scoring system. There's AFL records been written with stuff. You've got content on AFL.com.au.
I get your point. I'll tell you what, though. If I win it again, dog, look out.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be saying the same.
I get to make 2 changes. And so I'll just move his 2 things back.
Yes, good call.
Okay.
So Roy's thing, we're picking names like Gary Lyon, Mark Johnson, Aaron Davey, Daniel Harford, Scott Thompson from North Melbourne.
Yeah.
Adam McPhee.
Yep.
Can't wait to get my pick.
I don't know what we're doing. So this is going to be interesting. We'll have a full recap of that this time next week to see how our draft weekend went.
Making my own Legends match.
If we survive. Because it's going to be a large weekend for us. Make sure if you are doing draft, make sure once everyone's in, you go into the website and go settings, manage teams, and Calvin, finalise participants.
It's not that hard, dog.
And then you go in there and then you can change your draft time.
Mate.
It gets bumped back because finalised participants aren't there.
If I work that out, people,
this is a fair point.
Everyone out there should.
I can vouch
If
for
you
that.
can't, have a good bloody look at yourself, right? And then contact Warnie and he'll help you.
I'll just get my Control-C, Control-V tweet going. All right, head to afl.com.au for heaps of content, actually a truckload of stuff. We've got some great other podcasts coming this week, so get amongst it. And, well, boys.
We're not announcing the thing?
The thing. If you don't follow the Facebook page, facebook.com/AFL Fantasy Official,
right,
you'll need to get on that Tuesday evening.
Right.
From about 7 o'clock or so, something special, a live draft. Featuring us 3.
Am I in it? Yep, good.
Yes.
And everyone's
we're
like,
going to be back here again.
Wow, big news. Another draft with you 3.
And 3 big names.
Big names.
Very big names.
Bloody
Could be your M1, M2 and M3.
Oh my God, I'll be the judge of that.
Tom Mitchell, Lachie Neale.
Mine has sat like this.
Patrick Cripps. are joining us for a live draft. So
that's
going to
be wicked.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Man, hard-hitting questions.
We are going to hit them up.
So not just watching a cool draft.
No.
But getting the intel from the ball magnets.
It's going to be good.
Go and download their Ball Magnets app. It's very good.
It is good. That's exciting.
It is.
Where are they going to draft their teammates?
Where are they going to draft themselves?
The insights we'll get from this.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
It's going to be great.
Huge.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time, whenever that is. I'm going home to sleep.